Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting installment of Pobble Away, Pobble Live. He is late. No, it says 5 o'clock on my computer. I am here on time. It's good to see that we've already got 9 people joining us at the moment live. I can see that there are comments in the chat, which is excellent. That's what I do want to see. Finally, it's good to see that you're so excited. Hi, with a smiley face. Fantastic. Good to see you all here. I am, as usual, going to give it a minute or two just before I get started for anybody else that wishes to join us or join in with the live stream. And hopefully that number will go up a little bit so we can have lots of discussions and lots of people joining in with our chat. For now, feel free to say hello. I was ill and I need a script. Don't worry, you can come along to rehearsals on Monday and I'll have plenty of scripts for you there. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things just before we get started properly on our Pobble Live. Here we go. So, as it says, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for taking part in the chat already. What I wanted to say was there is a notification button on our channel. So, if you haven't already, if you subscribe to the channel, that's great. If you haven't, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, then you can also press the little bell icon that is near the subscribe button. That will give you notifications whenever we go live so that you get buzzed and you can hop straight on. If you have a tablet or a phone or anything like that, it will just let you know. Also feel free to share this moment with friends and family, get them involved and writing along with you, or feel free to kind of direct people that you know to the link and let's get people on and joining in and chatting. All right. I'm going to give it about another minute just for anybody else to log on, and then we will get going with our Easter Pobble Live. Don't forget to press those likes. I do like those likes, so it would be good to see as many of those likes as possible popping up. I can see 4 at the minute. Let's see if we can make it to 10 likes by the end of this video. I pressed like. I'm glad that you pressed like. Did you also press the bell for notifications? We've got 8 going up. It was at 9. Then it went to 6. Now we've got returning visitors. You've pressed the bell icon. That's fantastic. 6 likes. Look at that. We are going to get to that 10. I can feel it. I can feel that we will get to that 10. 6 already. Liked it. Fantastic. Well done. Thank you. Great. Okay. 7. There we go. 7 likes. 7 likes. Only 3. 8 likes. Only 2 away. Only 2 away from 10. Okay. We're going to get into our lesson. So, welcome all to Pobble Live Easter edition. 9 likes. Fantastic. Look at that. Zooming away. All right. Today's Pobble Live is all about this image here. This week's image. Happy Easter. So, a couple of questions that I'm going to explore, but something that you could explore too in the chat right now is you could answer, what is Easter? What is Easter? Why do people celebrate Easter? And how do people celebrate Easter? So think about you. Think about what you do around this time of year. Now, you might have lots of traditions. You may have some religious traditions that you take part in around Easter, or you might just kind of get certain things around Easter time, or you might not do anything around Easter. Pop in the chat, what do you do around Easter? And what is Easter? There we go, straight away, first one with a big smiley face. Absolutely, we have chocolate eggs. What's your favorite chocolate egg? What's your favorite chocolate egg? I'm still debating this Easter what chocolate egg I'm going to get. I was thinking Maltesers. I like Maltesers. We spend time with family. Absolutely lovely. Because Easter is a bank holiday, a lot of people are off from work, and it's within the school holidays as well. So people can spend time at home with their families. Here we go. Celebration of Jesus Christ and when he got resurrected. Monday, Thursday, Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and one more. Really good knowledge there. Thank you for sharing that. And we'll touch on that in a second. Anything else that people do around Easter time to celebrate Easter? Maltesers, yes, I agree. Maltesers, one of the best chocolates. Also like a twirl. Twirl's good. Anything else that people do around Easter time, or anything that you think other people might do? You go and see your nan. Fabulous. Yes, it's a good time to go and spend time with family, especially because we're off of school for 2 weeks. We can get around, we can see our friends, we can see our family, and we can spend time together. That's one thing about kind of large celebrations. They do tend to bring people together, which is a lovely thing. And of course, to pray and to think about the religious symbolism of Easter. We're up to 9 people watching live. That's excellent. Back up to the top end of what we were earlier. Still not up to the numbers that we've had previously, but we keep growing and we're going to keep going. I wonder if we can get to those 10 likes. That would be excellent. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. Get a basket full of treats. Wow, that would be excellent. I wouldn't mind a basket full of treats. Okay, let's have a quick chat then about what Easter is very quickly. And then we're going to have a look. 10! We got to 10 likes. Now let's double it. Let's get to 20. Let's see if we can get to 20. Let's see if I keep freezing, Mr. Keeling. I apologize. The stream seems to be working fine here. If there's anybody that's finding it hard or it does keep freezing I do apologize. Hopefully when the video goes up and it's not live, you'll be able to watch it straight through. So let's have a chat about Easter then. So some of us mentioned the kind of religious reasons behind Easter. And absolutely, that is correct. It's a festival. It's a Christian festival celebrated by Christians. But even before Christianity, people used to celebrate the coming of spring at this time of year because Easter and spring have some good ties. They're related, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, people at this time, 10 people in the chat, by the way, fantastic. 10 people there, great. Let's keep going. Let's keep adding. It was a festival. There were festivals around this time of year to welcome in spring because the start of spring and Easter generally coincide. They're around the same time. It is the oldest and the most important Christian festival. It celebrates the death and coming to life again, a resurrection of Jesus Christ. For Christians, the dawn of Easter Sunday, with its message of new life, is the high point of the Christian year. So there's a lot more to the Easter story, and I know that within Christianity in school you learn a lot about that, and if you are Christian yourself then you'll know this story in greater depth. But basically around Easter time we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, or rather that is the Christian belief, and that is what's celebrated, and that's where the festival comes from. But as I say, it's tied quite closely with the idea of spring. And it's not always celebrated the way that we celebrate it. So we, in the chat, we've said that maybe we might spend time with family. We might get chocolate, eggs. We might get all sorts of things, treats. Wow, we're up to 12 people. Let's keep it going. Fantastic. That's a lot. Let's keep it up and let's keep that chat buzzing. But yeah, that's not the only way that people celebrate. It changes around the world. And we're going to look at some ways that people celebrate Easter. Some of them quite interesting, I think. Let's see what you think. So in Australia, they don't have the Easter bunny. Now, I know over here we have the Easter bunny, and we eat chocolate eggs, and there are also chocolate bunny rabbits too. But in Australia, bunny rabbits are actually seen as a pest. Not over here, we can keep them as pets, but in Australia, they're seen as a nuisance because there's so many of them. So they do not have chocolate bunny rabbits. Instead, they have these here. In Australia, they have the Easter bilby. Can you all say that at home? The Easter bilby. I quite like that name, the Easter bilby. Is an alternative to the Easter bunny, the Easter bilby. Chocolate bilbies are eaten instead of chocolate rabbits because, as I mentioned earlier, rabbits are seen as pests. Yes, oh, I like that. It is quite cute, isn't it? The Easter bilby. Maybe we could have a look at some real pictures of bilbies tomorrow. And maybe if you've watched this live and you come into school tomorrow, you can tell some of your friends about the Easter bilby. They did. They used to have painted eggs. People still do that. People still do egg painting and find painted eggs. Absolutely. That's a really good suggestion. Well done. Okay, let's see what else they do around the world. So in Poland, I've been to Poland. Poland, lovely country, beautiful country. Been to Krakow, which is like the second city there. Very, very nice country. On Easter Monday in Poland, boys roam around the streets and they sprinkle the girls with perfume. That's similar to holly, which we've been learning about as part of our assembly in year 5, where people roam around the town and spray each other with coloured paint. But it's perfume and it's Easter. Baskets of food are taken to church to be blessed. On Easter Sunday, eggs are eaten, and also a cake in the shape of a lamb to symbolize Jesus Christ. So there is the religious symbolization of Christ there. But also eggs, just like us, eating eggs around Easter time. And we'll think about why that is in a second. Why perfume, I wonder? I wonder too. That might be something that we need to investigate or maybe research while I am on the screen. They also have painted Easter eggs called pisanki that are handcrafted and painted with traditional symbols of fertility and spring. So new life and spring going into new life. Wonderful. Scotland as well. Scotland. So this is part of the United Kingdom, but even in Scotland, things might be done slightly differently to how we do certain things in England. So let's have a look. In Scotland, they have egg rolling competitions. That sounds amazing. Maybe we can talk to Mr. Forshaw and maybe do some of these activities in PE. That sounds quite fun. Rolling the egg. I know we have a cheese rolling festival here in England, but the rolling of the egg, haven't heard that. Love Scotland. I do too. Scotland is beautiful. Been to Glasgow, been to Edinburgh, and been for a lovely time up in Scotland. It is a very, very beautiful country. Eggs are boiled and then painted, so we can see again that people are painting eggs. They then roll these eggs down grassy hills. Whoever's egg rolls the farthest wins. And the rolling of the egg symbolizes the rolling away of the stone from Jesus's tomb. So it has that religious symbolism again. Lovely. What a fantastic way of celebrating Easter. The rolling of the eggs. You know, I might incorporate that one into my celebrations. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. Bermuda. Now, I haven't been to Bermuda, but I have a friend who was actually born in Bermuda, which is you know a lovely country too. And like I say, I haven't been myself, but he says it's really, really nice. And in Bermuda, people fly kites to symbolize the rising of Christ. So again, that symbolism, the rolling of the egg, the rolling of the boulder away from the tomb, the rising of the kite, the rising of Jesus Christ. Can I draw a picture of an egg and bring it into school and show everyone? I would love that. Decorate it like a Fabergé egg. In fact, you could use Fabergé eggs if you search those up to have a little look at what those eggs look like and then use that as your inspiration for your picture. It'd be really lovely to see that, and absolutely we can show that. Okay, Bermuda. Let's have a look what else we've got. Germany, okay. Germany, been to Germany, been to Frankfurt in Germany. Germany, again, a lovely, lovely country. Had a lot of wasps there in the summertime. I knew this because my wife really, really doesn't like wasps. Is very, very scared of wasps. And they were everywhere. And it was very much a point, matter of fact, because my wife, everywhere we were going, would scream because of all of the wasps. But other than wasps, very, very beautiful country, full of lots of history and many, many, many museums. Let's see what they do in Germany. Birmingham and Frankfurt are twin cities. Wonderful, fantastic information. In Germany, they have Easter egg trees. Easter egg trees. Eggs growing on trees? Never heard of that before. Easter egg trees. Decorated eggs are hung from the branches of a tree. How fantastic. Let's see. What's next? Spain. Oh, love Spain. Been to Spain many, many, many times. Very warm country, very popular with English tourism because it's very close and very hot, especially in the summer months. Yeah, because of the Mediterranean climate. So Spain, they bring children bring palm leaves to church on Palm Sunday. Girls decorate their branches with tinsel and sweets. A little bit like Christmas, doesn't it, with the tinsel? On Ash Wednesday, a cross of ash is put onto people's foreheads to say sorry to God for the bad things that they've done. And that kind of relates to the idea of Jesus dying for our sins and then being reborn. On Maundy Thursday, men dress as skeletons to perform a dance of death to symbolize Jesus's death. So that's really interesting. That's very different. That in a way kind of reminds me of kind of festivals more to do with, you know, kind of Halloween and skeletons and that symbolism. But really, here we see it as part of Easter and a part of what they do in Spain. Lovely. So in southern Spain, boys bang drums during church processions. So processions and loud music and really getting on board with the kind of idea of this new life rising. Spain also has parades with floats illustrating the Easter story and marching bands. So a lot of religious kind of festivities happening there in Spain. Wonderful. The USA, the United States of America. Let's have a look at what they have said. At the White House in Washington, D.C., USA, there is an Easter egg rolling event that happens every year. So absolutely, there again, we can see that just like in Scotland, just like in Scotland, they have the rolling of the egg. I think that's quite fun. I think that's my favorite so far, the rolling of the egg. Children push decorated eggs through grass with long-handed spoons. That's fine. If you need to go, you can always join back in later on into the chat, or if you need to go now, you can always watch this when it's no longer live. But thank you for joining us. So children push decorated eggs through the grass with long-handed spoons. That's interesting too. I don't know why the spoons, but that's interesting. And in recent years, celebrities have turned up to entertain the rollers. So celebrities as part of these festivals as well. In Italy, been to Italy, lovely. I've been to Florence and to Rome and to Venice. Very, very, very pretty country. Especially Venice, absolutely beautiful. It's exactly how it appears. It's exactly how it appears in all the pictures that you see of Venice. Very, very beautiful. But in Rome, Italy, the Pope, because the Pope, of course, is in the Vatican City, which is in Rome. The Pope washes the feet of a dozen men at a reenactment of the Last Supper on Maundy Thursday. So it's very important in Rome, that religious symbolism, and for us to remember Jesus Christ, because obviously with it having Vatican City in it and the Pope following Christianity, that symbolism is very, very important. In Greece, the Easter festival begins before Easter. On Maundy Thursday, Easter bread is baked and eggs are dyed red, symbolizing the blood of Christ. Ooh, that one's a bit gruesome, actually, isn't it? Red eggs, interesting. And On Holy Saturday, people attend midnight mass where they all bring a candle to light from the church's holy flame. Beautiful symbolism, the birth of a new light, the birth of a new flame. Easter Sunday is spent with friends and family for a meal of roasted lamb. And that brings us to the end of kind of the celebrations that happen all over the world around Easter time. Lots and lots of really interesting ways. Back, Mr. Keeling, really glad to have you back because we're about to start some of the questions here. As I mentioned at the very start, Easter and spring tend to coincide. They come around the same time of year. Because of that, a lot of symbolism that is in spring ties with the symbolism that applies to the Easter celebration. Things like new life, a time for new beginnings, and the rebirth of nature. Because if you think about spring as a season, it's come after winter, after the darker months when we haven't had much light, the light begins to return. The light begins to return to earth and the flowers burst back into life, almost like a new life. And that's why Easter has these symbols of eggs and chicks, because that symbolizes rebirth, new life, a brand new baby chick, egg. And it falls within this symbolism of new life, springtime, everything starting over. And even if we think about how in Christian beliefs, Jesus died for people's sins and was reborn new, fresh, without sin, we can say that spring is a time of rebirth, a fresh start, a clean slate when nature has returned. And we're going to focus on springtime for our write today, because what we're going to do in our write is we are going to write about or write a piece of, rather, poetry. We're going to write a piece of poetry, and we are going to use these features within our poems. We are going to use alliteration. We are going to use onomatopoeia. We are going to use rhyme, and we are going to use figurative language. Let's talk through them. First of all, and we've got pictures all the way through this to inspire us and to show us the beauty of spring. First off, we're going to start with alliteration. So I wonder, in the chat, can you tell me what is alliteration? Does anybody know? Can anybody help me? What is alliteration? I'll give it a minute or so for people to type in what they think alliteration is. Alliteration is 2 to 3 words that begin with the same word. I know what you're trying to say there, and you're close, but they're not beginning with the same word. And it's not just 2 or 3. It can be multiple. It can be more. Begins with the same letter. That is closer. Closer. It's not just the same letter, though. It's even more specific than that. Can anybody? So we started really good. We said it's something that's the same. That's what we started with. Then we said it's the same letter. Fantastic. But then we said not only is it the same, not only is it the same letter, there's something else. I don't really know how to explain, but that's fine, and that's very honest. No problem. Anybody else know? Not sure. Okay. Alliteration, same letter at the start, close, still close, but what it actually is the same sound. And not just the same sound at the start of a word, but the same consonant sound, okay? It's not vowel sound, the same consonant sound. So to be specific, alliteration is the same starting sound. Okay. In a second, I'm going to ask you to challenge me to come up with your own tongue twisters using alliteration, because that's what they can be used for. First, I'm going to share a few with you. Try saying these at home. If your parents are nearby, try saying it to them. If your brothers or sisters or cousins are around, try saying it to them. Or if you're just alone watching this, then try saying it yourself. Let me show you the list. Let's see if you can do these. First one, very quickly, remember, you have to say these quickly. Come and clean the chaos in your closet. That starting with the k, 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 k sound. Come and clean the chaos in your closet. Very quickly, see if you can say it at home. Next one, the big bad bear scared all the baby bunnies by the bushes. There, the sound. Shut the shutters before the banging sound makes you shudder. See if you can say that really fast to someone around you. Go and gather the green leaves on the grass. Go and gather the green leaves on the grass. Can you say that really fast? Please put away your paints and practice the piano. Round and round she ran until she realized she was running round and round. I had to hurry home where Grandma was waiting for her waffles. The boy buzzed around as busy as a bee. Gary grumpily gathered the garbage. See if you can do that one 10 times. I'm going to try for 5. Gary grumpily gathered the garbage. Gary grumpily, oh, I've lost it on 2. Let's try again. One more time. Here we go. Gary grumpily gathered the garbage. 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 I think it helps if you do it in a little bit of a grumpy manner. Try it. See if you can beat me. I wasn't that fast, to be honest. Those lazy lizards are lying like lumps in the leaves. Ooh, 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 ooh. Paula planted the pretty pink poppies in the pot. Hi, Mr. Keeling. I'm sorry I was late. I was at Asda. That's absolutely fine. It's great to have you here. We're just doing some alliteration. Feel free to try saying these out loud at home. Oh, we've got one in the chat. A good cook could cook as many cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies. I like that. A good cook could cook as many cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies. Plum pads pop. Red ran round road. Some good similar starting words there, but can you make it into a sentence? Because what you'll notice is even though these use alliteration, they still make sense. Yeah, they still make sense. Paula painted the pretty pink poppies in the pot. Kim came to help us cut out a colourful kite for Chris. Bake a big cake with lots of butter and bring it to the birthday bash. Paula's prancing pony outperformed all the others. Or one that I really love that I've got stuck in my head is, begins with marvelous magic, most mysterious, make me make a monster into mozzarella marmalade. Love that one. I wonder, can you come up with a sentence, a full sentence that makes sense and has 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 words that start with the same consonant sound? Don't worry, if I move on, I will still check the chat, and if you've put any up that I really like, I'll read them out. So while I'm moving on, you can type in the chat, and if you're watching this video later, you can put them in the comments. I'd love to hear some of your alliteration sentence. Let's have a look what we've got so far. Oh, a big bug bit the little beetle, but the little beetle bit the big bug back. That's great. Really good. How many cookies can a cookie cook when a cookie cooker can cook cookies? She made her own mop in the morning while making marmalade. Yeah, that's great. Well done. Like that one. Hi, Mr. Keeling. Hi there. Nice to have you. Welcome, welcome. And we've got up to 11 likes. Fantastic. Okay. So alliteration, and let's add on to the challenge. If you are coming up with alliteration in the chat, which I'm seeing and I'm loving, if you are coming up with alliteration in the chat, why not try and make one up about spring? Spring, giving spring a sound. What sound might it have? Well, it might have the buzzing of bees. So you might say something about spring that has the or the sound to represent bees, yeah? Big bees buzz by blissfully. Something like that. Big bees blust. That's not a word. Big bees buzz by blissfully. Yeah. Buzz, 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 buzz. Fabulous. Is it frozen for everyone else or just me? I apologize, Darcy, if it is frozen for you. Hopefully it'll catch back up. Yep. So I'm guessing it's frozen for more than one person. Hopefully it's still recording. Hopefully this will go out and won't be frozen. No, it's not just you, Darcy. Oh, that is a shame. Apologies. If this is frozen, let me know when it starts up. Unfortunately, with technology, things like this will happen, but let's carry on. Let's keep going and let's see if it carries on. So, Mr. Keeling, it's not anymore. Yay! Fabulous. Now it's now. Now it's now. It is now. Now it's not. It is also now. Fabulous. We're moving. We're carrying on. That's what I like to hear. All right, we're moving on to onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Can anyone tell me what onomatopoeia is, please? What is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia. Do you know what? I'm going to have this playing next to me so I can see if it freezes as well. I think that's a good idea. Okay, anyone tell me what onomatopoeia is? It's not spelling, not to do with spelling. No, a word with sound. Could you be more specific? What do you mean? Maybe you could give me a few examples. A word with sound. The formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named. Okay, wow. Very, very, very clear definition there. So yeah, can you give me any examples, anyone, of words that... here we go. Splash, boom, crash. Absolutely. I would use the word represent because onomatopoeia is when you use words to represent the sound. Because when you're writing, you can't capture a sound unless you're recording that sound. Kapow! Yes, absolutely. You can't. But what you can do is you can write that word instead of recording the sound, like boom, bang, splash. We know what splash sounds like. We know it's more kind of... But we can't put that into our writing. We can't go... I mean, we could try with a mixture of letters, but we represent it with splash because we all have a shared knowledge of what the word splash means. Boom, bang, splash, crash, boom, bang. Okay, wonderful. Some good ideas. But before I ask for more, I'm going to do a very quick spelling challenge. I wonder, for those watching the video right now in the chat, who can be the first person to spell onomatopoeia for me correctly? Who can spell onomatopoeia for me? Go, try. Without looking it up, no cheating. Who can spell onomatopoeia? Go on. Onomatopoeia. Oh, so close on that third one, onomatopoeia. I've got 3 correct onomatopoeias. Well done, very fast. Faster than I thought. There was no looking, was there? No looking that up. Anyone else? Without looking? Autocorrect help. That is very honest of you. Very close. Again, onomatopoeia. onomatopoeia. A very, very weird spelling. All right, let's get back to our challenge then. Onomatopoeia challenge. I wonder if anybody can come up with any words that we might be able to use in a spring poem. A spring sound that you might hear. Like buzz. You might hear buzz, the buzzing of the bee. It's pausing again. I'm sorry, I think the internet connection isn't the strongest today. Just try and bear with it and hopefully it'll catch back up. Can anybody give me any onomatopoeic words that reminds them of spring? For example, I might say pitter-patter, 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 the sound of feet on concrete. The bees buzzed as the wind held through the clear spring air. Love that sentence. And what sounds might that wind be making? La, 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 la. Yeah, it could be the children singing. Whoosh. Love it. It is hard, you're right. And that's why we're sharing these. Birds singing. So what noise do the birds make? Chip, 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 chip. Absolutely. Or tweet, 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 tweet. Absolutely that too. What sound might the wind make as it goes through the leaves of the bushes? Buzz, yes, the buzzes of the bees, the birds tweeting. I like that one. Goes the sound of the lawnmower. Rumble, 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 rumble. Pitter patter from the rain. Yeah, I said pitter patter from the people walking, but absolutely in springtime it's still going to rain, especially here in England, isn't it? Yeah, the pitter patter from the rain. Lovely sounds there. It might be something you want to look up. What sound words might I hear in spring? The wind howled. Now that is figurative language, and we're going to get onto that in a minute. Thank you for helping me with alliteration. Thank you for helping me with onomatopoeia. I wonder who's going to be the first to spell it again? Very quickly. See if you can do it without autocorrect this time. Very quickly. Who can spell it? Whoosh. Love it. The leaves falling. What sound might they make? Crunch as you stand on them. Yeah? Crunch, crunch. And onomatopoeia. There we go. We've got it. onomatopoeia. Love the weird spelling of that word. If you're just joining us, make sure that you have pressed the bell icon, because the bell icon will give you notifications for future videos, and make sure you have subscribed. Okay, moving along. Here we go. Perhaps one of the most commonly known features of a poem, one of the most commonly or well-known features of a poem, the rhymes. Great. Okay, we're going to pause here. We're not going to make rhymes to start with. Rhyming words, two words that have the same ending sound, like be and knee, e, rose and nose, absolutely. What we are going to do is we're going to build a word bank for spring of really lovely words that might describe spring. So I might say something like peace, flower. What else does spring make me think of? Color. Sunshine. Or sunshine, yeah. Bright. Pleasant. In fact, what else could we have instead of pleasant? What's a better word for pleasant? Because it's nicer than that. Have we got any suggestions in the chat? Calm. I like that. Calm. Anything else? Think of spring. What comes to mind? Vibrant. That's nice. Vibrant. What else? Peaceful. So that could be adding the suffix of full to the word peace. Absolutely. Livid. Now, I think you've just got that mixed up with vivid. Easy mistake to make, but vivid means bright and colourful. Livid is related to anger. And generally, when I'm out in the beautiful fields, surrounded by all the colour, I don't feel livid. Generally. Pleasing. Yeah, we could have pleasing. But what's more than pleasing? Spring wind. So gentle breeze, maybe. Gentle. Serene, maybe. What else could we have? Describing the beautiful flowers, the new life, the weather. Exquisite. Oh, I like that. Exquisite. Exquisite. Skipping. So you might want to do the action. What else could we have? What else could we have there? Walking, skipping, dripping. But think about describing words. So peaceful, flowers, the color, the sunshine, bright, calm, vibrant, vivid, gentle, serene. Maybe the actions. No, we're doing the orange colors. But yeah, we could say emerald, couldn't we? Sorry. Fast handwriting. Emerald. We could have something shimmering. What else could we have? Okay, some ideas there. What I want to do now is I want you, if you're not watching live, I would like you to pause the video at this point and see if you can come up with a rhyming word or several rhyming words for each of these. Bonus points if you can relate them to spring. Now I'm going to take one of the words and I'm going to simplify it here because it makes it really easy for me to make rhyming words. So I'm going to put fun. I could even put a ton. And then I could pair my rhymes up as part of my poem. I had a ton of fun in the sun. Harder one to rhyme. Vivid. Again, we had livid, but I don't think that would relate to spring. Calm. Alarm. No need to feel alarmed when you can relax and be calm. Pause the video if you're not live. If you are, we're going to move on. But if you can think of any words that rhyme with anything on the list here, pop them into the chat and I will read them out loud. So any of these words that you can find a rhyme to, this one might be a good one to start at. That one's a pretty straightforward rhyme. If you can think of any rhyming words to go with these, please pop them into the chat. If not, I'd like to see them in the comments when you watch this video if it's not live, or pause it, maybe use online if you are watching this through a tablet, a PC, or that kind of thing, and look up different types of rhymes. Okay. One of the last things we're going to talk about today in poems is the use of figurative language. So you can use similes or you can use metaphors. Here are some examples of metaphors. Let me share them with you. Spring greeted me with a warm embrace. So not only am I personifying the season of spring, giving it that kind of personality that it's able to greet you, but I'm also saying that spring enveloped me with a warm embrace. So I am describing the lovely warmth of the weather as a hug. So it becomes a metaphor, because a metaphor is where you compare something to something else, but you say it is that thing. Yeah. So here I'm saying it is a warm hug. I'm still comparing. We know spring isn't really a warm hug, but as a metaphor, we're saying that it is a warm hug. The fields are covered by a blanket of flowers. There, we are comparing the flowers that we can see all along the field to a blanket, something that covers something else. We're comparing it to a blanket. We know it's not actually a blanket, but we are saying that it is because that is a metaphor. I've got a short little poem here that you might want to take some ideas from when you're writing your own, if you want to add metaphors. Here, the writer, which I really like, has used the idea of changing your outfit to represent the changing of the seasons. It's spring. It's spring. And the garden is changing its clothes, putting away its dark winter suits, its dull scarves, and drab brown overcoats. So here we see the poet is describing winter as these darker winter clothes. Now it wraps itself in green shoots, slips on blouses, sleeved with pink and white blossom, pulls on skirts of daffodil and primrose, snowdrop socks and purple crocus shoes, then dances in the sunlight. How lovely is that? Those beautiful descriptive metaphors saying that nature is changing its clothes. That might be what you want to use in your poem. You might describe spring as putting on its sunglasses. You might say that spring is putting on a floral coat. You might use these clothing metaphors to describe the changing of the seasons. Let's see what we've got here. Tree blossom. The tree's blossom fell as light feathers falling from a bird as the people went to their destination. Now, Darcy, I like how you're comparing the falling of the leaves to the falling of feathers. But what you've done there is not used a metaphor, because remember, a metaphor is where you say something is something. Like, my teacher is a dragon. Very angry. You've used what we're going to look at next, which is a simile. So you have used a simile there. You've compared it and you've said it's like something else, which is also figurative language. It's also beautiful, but it's different to a metaphor. And that's why with a metaphor, you say something is something else in the comparison. With a simile, you say it's like something else. So some examples of similes. Flowers smell sweet like... Somebody think of something sweet. Something sweet so I can end my simile. Flowers smell sweet like what? What smells really sweet? Flowers smell sweet like... 5L. I don't know. I guess the classroom smells quite sweet. Candy. Wonderful. Flowers smell sweet like candy. Flowers smell sweet like honey. Flowers smell sweet like sugar. That's okay if you need to go. You go. You can always rejoin later, or you can watch us when we're no longer live. Flowers smell sweet like... what else? Perfume. Absolutely. Honey, candy, perfume. And these are all similes because we are comparing it to something else. We're saying it's like something. Let's try another. Fields as colourful as... what's really colourful? Fields as colourful as... so I'm comparing it again. Fields as colourful as what? What might... rainbow! Of course! Fields as colourful as a rainbow. If I was doing a metaphor, I would say the fields are rainbows. If I was doing a simile, as colourful as a rainbow. As colourful as birthday balloons. Yeah? I suppose you're wearing very colourful trousers. You might be... my tie, for example, is a very colourful tie. Somebody said as colourful as items of clothing. Absolutely. If those items of clothing are very colourful, like my tie. But generally, when we speak about similes, we talk about something that everybody can know and picture, and everyone can picture that rainbow, can't they? Everyone can see in their head that rainbow. Sky as blue as... can you think of something that's very blue? Sky as blue as what? What's very blue? So with the flowers, we could say smell as sweet as honey or smell sweet like honey. We can say fields as colorful as a rainbow. What's very blue? Sky as blue as what? Well, I might say the sky is as blue as a sapphire because that's a very famous jewel or gem that is very, very blue. And people that listen to that would know exactly what I'm talking about. As blue as the ocean on a clear day, comparing the sky and the ocean. Okay. And finally, we have clouds as fluffy as. Okay, Darcy, Mr. Keeling, I don't know what to do. We're building up our poem and we're looking at figurative language at the moment, Darcy. So all we're doing is we're finishing off sentences for our poem using similes. This last one here, I've got clouds as fluffy as. So all I need you to think about is something that's really fluffy and you can finish my simile. Just like we've had there, clouds as fluffy as cotton candy, or as we call it over here, because that's, I think cotton candy is more of the American term for it, clouds as fluffy as candy floss. Can you think of anything else that's really fluffy? Cotton candy! Anybody else think of anything really, really fluffy? As fluffy as the clouds, as fluffy as a teddy bear, maybe. Clouds as fluffy as a newborn puppy, my cat. Okay, but remember to make it beyond your own experience because you've got to share it with other people and they've got to know and picture what you're saying. That's part of it. And if you're joining us and you're not live, feel free to add the ends to these sentences into the comments below. Okay. Just before we go on to further ideas, let's just do a quick recap of the features that you can use in your poems. So part of this session, I would like you to go away now, or if you've done it along, and write a poem about springtime. And the features that you can use are, as we've talked about, alliteration, having the same starting sound at the beginnings of words. Onomatopoeia, using sound words. Bang, crash, wallop. Wouldn't work for spring, but pitter patter, crunch, crunch, crunch of leaves might. Rhyming. We had our list here. Did anyone think of a better word than pleasant? If not, I might have to do it. I might have to write it. Oh, is there a better one? Nicer than pleasant? Nicer than pleasant? I don't want to do it myself. Maybe can you think of one? That's better than just being pleasant. That's pleasant. Pleased. I think that's got the same root. Never mind. All right. You can use this list as a word bank here, and you can try and come up with your own rhymes that match the words. That would be great too. Delighted or delightful. Yes, we have exquisite down here. That is a great one. And finally, you can use figurative language to describe spring. But remember, you can choose to either use metaphor or simile. If you're using metaphor, you're comparing still, but you are saying that spring is something. Yeah. So is covered with a blanket of flowers, is a warm hug. Whereas with similes, you are saying it's like those things. Spring is like a warm hug. Spring, the flowers in spring are like a carpet of color. Fabulous. Well done for joining in today. Really, really great to have so many answers in the chat. That's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to give you some more ideas if you don't want to do the poem. Okay. So here are some other things you could do for our Happy Easter Pobble. Why not Write a list of all the things you want to do in the school holidays. It's just around the corner. We're breaking up for Easter. So why not write me a list of all the things you want to do? Hey, why don't you research Easter and present a fact file about how it's celebrated across the world? I don't know about you, but I really loved learning about how Easter is celebrated in all those different countries. I thought it was fascinating, especially the rolling of the egg. What a revelation. Why don't you go and do more research about other ways in other countries that we celebrate Easter and write me a fact file on it? Or, this one's quite exciting, why not design your own Easter egg? You can design the egg, you can design the packaging, and you can create an advert. As always, it doesn't matter if you're in year 5, it doesn't matter if you're in year 4, 3, 2, 1, wherever you are, whichever class you are in across the school, bring in a piece of Pobble work related to Pobble Live for me to see. I would love to see it. I would love to share it with my class. You are welcome to bring your Pobble ideas, writing, anything else to me to celebrate with me and with my class. Thank you so much for joining me today on Pobble Live. I will see you next week. But for now, happy pobbling. See you next time.